The sun is hitting me in my eyes, so this is where we're at right now. Today's a bit of a deep one, isn't it? Like, I feel like I really want this channel to be something real. Like, I don't want it to be a joke thing. Like, I actually want to give helpful, valuable information and talk about things that I feel like in our community, we don't talk about. My lips are looking dry. So today I wanted to talk about sexual harassment within the Black community, within the African community. High-key big trigger warning on this because I feel like it's such a sensitive topic, and I feel like we're so desensitized to something because it happens so often. Like, it happens so often, especially being in Africa and being around these predatory men and knowing that this is not just outside things you deal with. These are things that happen a lot of the time, especially in the home. Let me give a quick rundown of what sexual harassment is so that we have a clear understanding. Sexual harassment is a type of harassment involving the use of explicit or implicit sexual overtones, including the unwelcome and inappropriate promises of rewards in exchange for sexual favors. Sexual harassment can be physical and/or verbal. Now, understanding that, I want you to understand the broadness of what sexual harassment is. Like, it grinds my gears because I feel like, having studied social work and having really gone to depth into the systems, especially in Western countries that place so much value on things like abuse and harassment, and how so much action is taken whenever a person is abused or harassed, right? Especially children, especially from an elderly person. It's like this really big deal that is made and things are done. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not playing games. This is not a hush-hush situation. But what I don't like in the African community, from my own experiences of discussing this topic with somebody or with some people, is that we've gone through it, we've experienced lots of things before. You just have to understand how men are, you just have to get it and know how to not put yourself in situations where, as a person, you don't wake up in the morning or go about your day thinking that you're about to enter a situation of where you're going to be harassed. And a lot of the times, clearly, people have become very clever in how they communicate this harassment, right? And it's easy to flip it around on the woman to make it seem like, oh, she's the one that pushed a narrative, right? Men, that they feel entitled to have this opinion that they were not in the wrong because somebody is not necessarily saying with their mouth that, oh, this is too much. I want you to think about how much harassment happens within family homes. How many times I've had so many discussions with girls who have told me that this person did this to them, this person did this to them, and guess what? They felt scared to even open their mouth to tell their parents, to tell their mothers, to tell their aunts, to tell any other female in their family, because they know what they will be received with. And it's crazy because even for myself, the thing that brings my mind into whether I should talk about something is I know that this is gonna backfire. The only do you know how crazy that is? That you can't even talk about your own experience, you can't even seek help from the people you're supposed to trust because of that fear that is going to be turned around on you, that you did something, you initiated this. Not on these men that are predatory, that know how to do it in a way where they don't get caught, know how to word things in a way, right? And because we protect these men so much in society, and we feel as though we can't, you understand, what will people say? We end up hurting the children that are being abused over and over and over again until they become just like that. Later on saying, well, I've been through lots of things before, and I tried to talk about it and it never was made a big deal out of or anything, so you should get over it. Imagine I'm telling a child that she should not deep something so traumatizing because it always happens. Sexual assault is not something to be normalized. Abuse is not something to be normalized. And I'm sick and tired of our community downplaying something that is just so downright disgusting. And the fact that people don't even feel the need to want to talk about it because what are you afraid of? Who beats me? Oh yeah, come beat me. You know how many times, especially when I'm in Africa, never go out alone. When I'm in Zimbabwe and I'm staying in Mashingo, so many times whereby I have been physically grabbed, or like somebody is trying to, you understand? And I've always been with somebody, like I'm always either like with my uncles, or I go out with males, because I feel like I need that protection, because I'm genuinely scared every single time I step outside, especially at night. When I look back at situations that I've experienced, you understand, it's always people that are close in the family, close to home, close by. It's never usually some random guy from outside where you're walking around, you understand, and he sees you. No, it's usually very close, usually within your home, because they're the smartest ones. They know what they're doing, and they know how to psychologically abuse you, do you understand, and make you keep your mouth closed, because you're also thinking, if I say this, what's gonna happen? The lack of seriousness that is put on abuse and assault in the African community is so crazy. In the black community, it's so crazy how we don't think of it as a big deal. How we don't discuss it openly. Are we not supposed to be breaking these? Let me just go in with some facts. Right? 45.1% of black women experience physical violence, sexual violence, or stalking from their intimate partner. 45%. And we don't talk about it, no? We don't talk about the rape that happens within marriages. We don't talk about the sexual abuse and the we don't talk about that. Right, we don't talk about it, because in our culture, everything is hush, 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 to the point whereby even in the family, things cannot be openly discussed. Who is the girl child, is the boy child supposed to go and speak to when he's experiencing this abuse? Who? If not you, the immediate family, the people that are supposed to be the actual protectors of a child in a community, who is going to support them? Because you see, now if I go to social services and I tell the police what happened, it's going to be a bigger deal that other people know that the police are involved than that experience that child went, right? Because we don't place a certain weight on experiences and how this manifests and how this, guys. Like, it breaks my heart, do you understand? Because I can't imagine my child coming to me telling me they were harassed, they were sexually assaulted, and I take that lightly. No. That is a traumatic. But we're redefining what trauma is these days, right? Because it seems like the whole growing up African is just traumatic, right? We've agreed it's a traumatic experience. I'm tired of this narrative. It doesn't have to be that way. And I love the fact that our generation, people in our time, we're now openly discussing things, and we're now being free to say, no, we don't want that. And I wanted to do another video after this about generational curses and, you know, the things that I feel as if that we don't place importance on in our communities, in our families, in our homes, you know, which really, really causes the degradation of our society. Like, I don't think people understand that the more that you are absent-minded and completely being ignorant to the truth, how do you expect yourself to grow? How do you expect yourself to expand as a person if you cannot even talk about the things that are really, really true? This art of pretending, this art of acting, this art of just hush, 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 keep it quiet is killing our people. It's killing us. And I sit here and I talk about this with so much passion and anger because it genuinely makes me angry. I might be somebody who's very well dealt with a lot of things on my own. I always feel like, you know what? What's the point in talking about it? Nothing's going to happen if I talk about it, right? People that are supposed to be there to support you, uplift you, guide you or whatever, they don't do that when you're going through difficult things, because we as black people, we have suffered. I've been through life. I've gone through things. My life has been, everyone's life is hard. That's why we're supposed to be there to help each other. Not tear each other down and lessen somebody's experience. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick and tired of this narrative, and I would really love for things to just change. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Things need to change, like today. Like, there's no sitting thinking about it. No. I see too often the same pattern over and 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 over again, where people cannot even get over their own traumas and their own experiences because of fear that if I show my weakness, if I show that this is hurting me, I'm weak, ne? I'm weak. I'm not strong. Because you must be always strong, always fighting. Of course, you understand? But when did human beings become so self-absorbed that they don't even respect and see other people's pain as significant? Look, I like to think of every experience that I've been through, right? Whatever I feel as if my purpose is on this earth, right? All the bad things that have happened to me, all the things that I've experienced that have really broken me down, as a way for me to teach and give back to people that haven't gone through some certain experiences yet. You know, one thing I always love, I love speaking to my younger cousins, you know, especially the girls. I feel like I have tried to have a close relationship with them, because I feel like the way that my life has gone and the things that I've experienced, I can really like come through with some like, let me tell you the advice I'd love to give. You understand, the advice that I feel like I wish I got when I was younger, or the things that I wish somebody told me when I was younger. I always try to do that. I always try to break the generational curse of let's just be quiet and live in our own little bubble and No, I'm supposed to help them. That's my whole existence, right? It's supposed to help. I'm supposed to help them. Now it doesn't just stop with them. It stops with anybody that feels as if they're not heard, they're not seen, feels as if they can't talk openly and freely about things. I want to be here as a vessel where people can speak openly and freely to somebody that they trust. You know, like, it really does break my heart, honestly, like, to see how much, like, in our community we're just so stuck in this mentality, stuck in this cycle that is just breaking us. Honestly, man. This whole topic, like, it really, really gets me heated. I feel like I have, not even just because I might have experienced these things that I've experienced, but I try my best to not internalize a lot of things so I can be the best version of myself and give to others what I feel like I should give, right? But I know that there are a lot of people who are struggling, a lot of people who are suffering, a lot of people that are going through this mental torment, and they don't have anyone to talk to. It's really sad. It's really upsetting, you know. And I really hope that, you know, the more that we create discussions like this, the more that we have these conversations and try to think about how we can change it, you know, how we can have a whole different mindset to some things that are so important. You know, it's only when we can say that we're doing something. You know, when we stop being quiet, when we stop just being hush about everything and actually dealing with shit. This is when people can actually move on in their lives and actually grow and be good, happy, successful, content people. Isn't that what we're supposed to be searching for? Thank you for listening to my rant. You know, I hope that I can open up a lot more things that are difficult to talk about and create a platform whereby people can really truly be themselves, be open, be free, and to deal with things in a healthy way. You know, I feel like as I'm on my own personal journey trying to figure out, you know, how to go through life, you know, I feel like any gems that I pick up along the way, anything that I learn along the way, I always love to share it and give back to anybody that I feel like would be willing to hear. Because I feel like that's what we're supposed to be doing, is helping each other, talking about things that are truly important and changing the world one day at a time, one discussion at a time, one thought at a time.